Hey everyone, so I've got an interesting project here on the bench that I'm working on. So got we've got a tour package out with Drumcore International Group, and one of the things they're using are a bunch of these Sennheiser 908 microphones, and really love them. They sound great, but we're having a problem. We didn't run into this last year. I haven't figured out what exactly is going on, but connector's getting damaged. Every single one so far, the damage is like within that area there. So, uh, if any of you guys have ever attempted to put a new connector on any of these really, really thin headphone or microphone cables, you know it's an absolute bitch. So, I've always thought it was a bitch, and I've not come across anyone talking about a really good technique for dealing with it. Well, I've got enough here in front of me that I'm discovering a decent technique. And it's saving a lot of time. It's working well, and I wanted to share that with you guys because, like I said, a lot of people I know have told me, "Oh, you can't even repair this stuff." And I'm like, "Well, that's bullshit. It can be made. It can be repaired. I mean, it's that simple." Um, so, anyways, it's just a matter of finding the right method. Now, let me show you what I got going on here. So I've got this little mixer right there, just using it to drive a little set of earbuds, which, by the way, those of you who follow me on TikTok, there will be a link for these in the bottom. These are from KZ. Really love them. They're really inexpensive. Yeah, it's not even focusing there. But they actually sound great. They work great. As an audio tech, they are, without going to like true custom molded, about as good as you can get. So anyways, just got a cable here, quick little bullshit patch there, and here's where the magic's going to happen. Alright, so anyways, so we've already checked this, and indeed what's happening, we've bent it to about there, and it disconnects. So that's what we're dealing with. So, what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and cut this off right there. This, trash, gone. Alright, and we're at this stage. So, by the way, any of y'all wondering, this is the connector that I'm using. It's Canfon. These seem to be pretty good. I'm liking them so far. We'll see how they do down the road a little ways, but right now they're feeling pretty good. We're going to go ahead and take it apart. We're going to slide the shell down the cable while it's nice and easy. Oh, let's see what we've got. Sorry, I just noticed we've got this little kink here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that out as well, just in case that's also possibly part of the problem. We've got plenty of wire on these for our application, so I can take quite a bit off and no one will ever know the difference. So anyways, we'll slide that on. We're going to take this little plastic piece, which that just insulates between all these pins and the shell once we put it together. We're going to slide that down. And then this part, I'm going to set it aside here. I'll show you how I put it in my little pan device here in a sec. So take this guy here, and no amount of trying to get the right size wire cutter and whatnot has proven to actually work for this. So just straight up razor blade right on the bench, just kind of roll it. And you see how we've scored it right there. And sometimes it takes a little bit more pressure than others. Like I said, this is also hard while filming it, but I wanted to share this with you guys. So I will use these as pliers sometimes. It's just a gentle touch, but it also sometimes helps to bite in. So anyways, and you see how first thing we get is all this. So what I've been doing, these are actually attached to the ground. But they are the shield wire. But there's also, and there's specific with these, so everything's different. When you go starting to repair something, you got to figure out what your situation with what you're repairing is. But we've got all these tiny, tiny fibers. But you can see that copper wire in there, right there. That's also our ground, and it solders up much better than trying to get this really flowy, strandy mess. So we just take a little time, try and get all of these fibers collected up. Just get them all over here. And by the way, when you're doing these, don't shortchange yourself. Make this long enough so you can work with it. That's going to be your biggest thing. And again, scissors don't want to cut these. I mean, everything's just so fine. Really good pair of scissors would do it. But honestly, I'm finding just the razor blade, be willing to cut into the table just a little bit, is working better than anything. Now, this is where I was making my biggest mistake, and I think anyone else that I've seen doing this has been making their biggest mistake. trying to strip these guys and then tin them like you would any other normal connection. Don't do that. That's where I think we've all been going wrong with these. Anyways, I'm going to move you guys around and we'll finish this up. Alright, so we've got our pan device right here, and what I do is I put the connector in. I'm going to turn it just a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing a little better. And again, bear with me, that's kind of killing my technique just because I'm trying to make sure you guys can see as well. Anyways, so now, take this. Notice, still have all their insulation on it. And we're going to put our ground wire through the hole for the ring. Again, make sure we get all the fibers in there. And for these, I just happen to know, because I've checked, I pulled apart the original connector. The white wire is the ring, and the brown is the tip, so that's the way we're going to do this here. Again, notice they are still insulated. And I'm just threading these through the holes. And I can already feel some people screaming, but you've got to get the insulation off there, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know. Check this out. Alright, so here's where some of the magic comes in. We've got rosin paste flux. Really good for helping clean your tip and just giving you something to help make the solder flow. And we have the brass cleaning. So every single time we're going to make sure we clean it good, and then we're going to pick up a little bit of the flux. And I'm going to zoom in real close so you guys can see what's going on. Here's kind of the magic that I've discovered. Pick up some extra of that flux. And we're just going to come along right in here, catch the wire. We're going to just heat this whole plate up real good, and just kind of slide the iron down the wire. You see how I've just made that nice big puddle there. And we've got a little bit of black that's come to the top, heat it up again. As long as all that moves out of the joint, and again, every time, because we're melting this plastic out, gotta pick up some flux. Just gonna kind of paint that along it, letting it get nice and hot. Take it, roll it over so we can get to this guy, and pull him back to there. Now this guy's real easy because it doesn't have any insulation on it. Okay, just heat the metal up. I'm gonna grab this, pull it nice and straight. There we go. Then, just going to take our close cutting nips, get right in there, nip the excess off. Just nip all this little bit of excess off. We can do it after the fact. Make each trim perfect to length. If we can get it to focus. We got it there, nice, neat and clean. Now the only thing left, take our pliers, which these are actually, they're not really sharp, but they're kind of pointy. Usually more than tiny enough to do all this kind of stuff. We're literally just going to crimp that down on top of it, give it a good little squeeze there. Just making sure we've got a good hold of the jacket with those, because otherwise we'll be right back here doing this again. So now I've got a good bite on that jacket. Okay, so you guys noticed that did not take very long. I mean, it took a little while because I was filming it, but it's gotten pretty quick. And honestly, doing these tiny ones, so far, they seem to be doing just fine doing it that way. I can get in a damn good connection, and yeah, they're proven to be reliable. So there we go. And of course, always check it when you're done, because we can all make mistakes. Anyways, thanks for watching.